Let's get back to Sarah's bad choices.
So we did make attempts, like everybody does. Prosecutor, any criminal defense lawyer, public defender, you have plea negotiations. So there were attempts to settle it. I was kind of like a mediator.
Regarding the plea offer, it's not just 15 years in the Department of Corrections. That is an offer predicated on a particular circumstance. Coming to court and saying, I am responsible for George Torres's death, and I accept the punishment. And because that consideration was never given in this case, the offer of 15 years in no way represents what this case is worth, or what George Torres's life is worth.
Welcome back. Welcome. I'm so excited. While Sarah Boone is scrubbing toilets for commissary and starting a SHIT storm on YouTube. Is your keyboard bloody yet? Sidebar, Judge Jackson, where are you? We are still docket watching, but it's Sunday Funday. Yay! Our favorite day of the week. We get to convene here, pillage responsibly, cover everything that went on during the week, plus more.
His sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of.
That always gets us going, right? It's something about the way he says court cost, madam, and there are court costs. I love that part. Look at Sarah there just dancing around for her little pizza with her baby duck named Sarah. Let me give you a little story of who Sarah is. So when we read our messages months ago, we know now the documentary guys, they wrote Sarah a letter and they were like, hey, Sarah, we found a little duck that was injured in the pond, and guess what? We named her after you. We nursed her back to health, and her name is Sarah. So Sarah was she was so happy. She was proud, like, oh, and Lana, they named a duck after me. So fast forward now, futuristically or currentistically, and the final email exchange between P and Sarah, he told her how it was all a lie. No malicious content. Do you guys think Sarah is totally fuming right now? Shout out to Adam. Adam, where are you? Adam wrote Sarah several letters trying to get behind the wall, and she never responded to Adam. Adam, I think you dodged a bullet. However, the documentary guys, they got close enough to the monster, and they have brought back more cigarettes, pizza, and Woodbridge than we can all handle. Have you guys been pillaging? And then a big shout out to Tanika's 2 cents and Summa Cum Loudmouth. I can't help but to go back and binge all of their old videos. Classified crime and Dandy's true crime. Dan, shout out to you. Congratulations on 500 subscribers. You guys make sure you go head over to Dan and give him a follow. He has some great Sarah content. The music is hilarious. I don't know. It's just fun for me to hear everybody's different point of view when it comes to Sarah Boone. And now we get to hear. You can clearly tell. We can clearly tell what she was thinking when we hear the calls from the third rail. Oh, I'm dancing with the dogs. Let's get this party started. Exclamations. Sidebar, do you think all of her calls and harassing and her posse is part of the reason she was sentenced to close confinement, considered a danger to herself or others? Sarah is feeling good, so she sends another message. Good morning, Lana Albert. Like the Good Morning Vietnam opening is the subject. Hi, how lovely are you feeling today? Did you get my message last night saying hello and I missed talking to you all day? I was just hoping to call you this morning, but the phones aren't open yet and it's only 8:30 your time. In the meantime, I'll just write, then call later, hopefully. Did 3 call you last night? I'm sorry if it was late, but the breaking news you gave me was of utmost importance that I share with him. I told him you are a night owl also like he is, and you'd probably be awake. I hope he did not disturb you if you did speak. I didn't even have to give your phone number. He said you probably provided personally, so I figured it was okay. How did you find out about this? From May? It's August. Important. Was it announced on the news and wherever this was broadcasted that this is George Torres's brother? Can you do more research? Or maybe 3 will now. I'm curious as heck myself. His mugshot is effing scary. He is so crazy and mean, just like him. I am stupefied. I'm going to write the Delphines back today. I'll let you know. I have another meeting tonight with Billy and 3, so keep praying everything goes well. Another God day. What's going on in your world? Are you smiling? I'll call you this morning. If you can talk, super. If not, I'll try again later. So, love you in the meantime. Heart. Sidebar, Sarah is trying to call her to leave record of something that happened to her by the sergeant and the corporal. And she's very excited and turned on by this news from Farrell. She thinks it's going to help her case.
I just got those.
Okay. They are not allowed in the jail.
It's a God day. Sarah is just a stupefied, nonstop BITCH all day, right? Leave a trophy in the chat if she is. Now, I figure I'd issue a slight trigger warning while we have been reading these old messages. It can be a bit triggering for some. Lana is no longer here with us, just like George. Rest in peace, George. Rest in peace, Lana. I encourage the difference of opinions. I even sometimes play devil's advocate to get the conversation going. Ooh. As straight A students, we all know how to pillage responsibly. No children allowed. And everything else is just a matter of a healthy debate. Know that. Gen X Gamer Girl, hey Gen X, says, it's a lot easier to understand, it's a lot easier to understand the crap she was putting the lawyers through after hearing this call. Paul in NYC, hey Paul. Paul says, I cannot believe this phone call. Paul is livid. Ohio Mom Pom, hey, Ohio Mom, says P is finally getting a dose of what Sarah is really like. CJ says, ask me if I care, Sarah shows her true colors. She only cares about herself. I think you guys are right. Look at her as she's sitting there holding her little duck, finally eating her hot food. Please, it's Valentine's Day. As the documentary guys get her prepared to spill the beans. They have her favorite 911 pink shorts and some medical snacks on deck in case her blood sugar gets out of whack. Annie, shout out to Annie. Annie, hope you are listening. Some of you have spoken to Annie in the comment section. Annie is in hospice and she is waiting for Judge Jackson. Judge Jackson, where are you? Annie, hold on for us. I hope to see you in the chat this episode, Annie. And I'm so happy you got the gift of Sarah's whiny baby voice telling her prison blues and Hunger Games stories. Know that. No malicious. Shout out to you, Annie. Hope you and your kids had a beautiful visit. Now, let's get back to this party.
Okay.
Not even.
Refocus. My question was, when do you think you'll have everything done?
Done at the proposed time of this weekend.
Just in case, I think you should start this is important, right? So I think that
Sarah is the true definition of giving an inch, taking a Muldoon mile. Like James, he came from Milton. He wanted to help her get a plea deal. She said, reject. Do you guys remember the look James gave her when she said reject? And he said, Your Honor, can we just explain? So she'll have about 8 years, right? If she takes this. He even explained it and gave her the side eye. She looked straight ahead and said, reject. Okay, so now it seems like this guy is telling her, like, hey, I'm telling you I can do this, but I'm busy. I have things to do. He's telling her his limits, and she's like, what? Boundaries?
That to try to avoid and alleviate things for you to ask for me to ask you to do. You're not there. You're not in the relationship between me and her. You don't understand.
Okay, Sarah is now talking about the Australian Connect, and it's getting heated, right? Grab your medical snacks. We have followed the closing arguments on a world tour. Now we have a behind the scenes backstage pass to the show.
yeah, but I
So
know
I've done
I know
what I
the
needed
facts.
to do, and everything's fine. And she's on a regular basis. She does go like this because she's 16 hours away and has a broken phone and a dying cat.
I know the facts, Sarah, and I know that you asked her to do all this work, and then she did it all, and then a way to help you. And you shouldn't say, like, ask me if I care. I don't think that's right. I mean, like, you could say the same thing to her about me tomorrow.
Her email confirming our friendship
apologize
and
to
taking
her.
care for everything that
Sidebar, don't forget, this is the conversation regarding the closing arguments that went on a world tour. P is trying to tell Sarah to have some gratitude regarding Australia. And Sarah, she's not really biting. She's like, ask me if I care. Turn the page. I saw one of you in the comment section saying that Australia was actually coming to the third rail. So she was going to be answering questions about her and Sarah's friendship. Ooh.
Back to you. And I wasn't giving you a hard time about I'm just trying to give you some insight and tell you, like, yeah, she might say she's not pissed, but she was pissed. I mean, she was upset.
ask me if I care. Flip the next page.
Why don't you care? Why wouldn't you care about that?
That's like when she asked Brian, why don't you care? I don't care.
I don't have time to care about that right now, and what exactly do you propose I do about it right this moment? Yesterday or the day before, after then writing her an email confirming our friendship and taking her for everything that she does.
Yeah, but like apologize to her and tell her like...
I don't need for you to tell me what I've already done. Please.
It doesn't sound like you apologized to her, but whatever. It's not my thing.
Absolutely, just like it did Lana's, and everything else. And then it always comes back to bite us in the ass and say, I told you so.
Okay. That's what it is. I think that, like, honestly, Sarah, I think that, like, people are going way out of their way to help you, and you shouldn't say, like, ask me if I care. I don't think that's right. I mean, like, you could say the same thing to her about me tomorrow.
Sidebar, I have so much fun with you guys in the premieres. Oh my God, we had so much fun. We were hanging out, eating our medical snacks, listening to the rewind of the tablet messages. So, Cat OG79, shout out to Cat, says, putting this star on the map from London, UK. OMG, LOL. I never noticed how he was dropping those pics during the trial. He was hilarious. Thanks for your commentary. I love it. She's referring to Mr. Cacciatore when he was in the trial during his closing argument. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Owens is going to get up in a minute and he's going to tell you about curtain rods and black eyes, and he was dropping the photos. They were James's photos that James had ran down the street to print out at Staples. He was out of breath when he was coming back and forth, sending the girls down the street to pick up those posters. They were part of his big reveal at the closing, and Mr. Cacciatore went right over there and picked them up and ruined it. Bum, bum, bum. The Cool Braider, shout out to the Cool Braider, says, I believe someone said, Ooh, someone said neither Cacciatore and Jay wouldn't look Owens in the eyes, as there was some very nice things in Owens and Henderson's background. Perfect. Oh, and if you guys want to know what the cool braider is referring to, check out our episode regarding James Owens and Tony Henderson. Those good old boys were up to some low down dirty things in their days. Okay. I'll just tell you why we're here gathered together. James and Tony, they go back. All of this is alleged. Everything is alleged. James and Tony, they go back far back to high school. They were both like high school jocks, popular guys on the yard, right? They got out of school. They both went into politics. They were friends, and they were involved in an essay. Multiple essays. This is alleged. Tony Henderson allegedly, even one of the essays ended in a pregnancy that he allegedly provided child support for until the child was 18. Owens too. Those are their charges, allegations against him too. Why they were never arrested? In the article, it said the statute of limitation had ran out, I believe. We'll have to go back and touch bases. If you know, leave it in the comment section. But, oh boy, it was juicy.
Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him. I miss him a lot, and I didn't even sleep last night. I miss him a lot.
I mean, is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him and...
I never stopped. I never stopped. That's what I'm here for. I never stopped. I'm here now because I'm still trying to help him.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, shout out to Tanika's 2 cents. Now, remember on a previous episode where Sarah Boone inmate Boone went on a little trip to the doctor's office? Well, let's go on that trip and see where she went down the Florida Pike, I believe. Shout out to Florida. I think I remember from the map, it was the Florida Pike. Correct me if I'm wrong. She went to Dr. Seaborn Hunt. We heard her on the phone with P saying, his name is Seaborn Hunt. Just please look him up for me, please. As if that was going to make a difference. But this is just a closer look to what Sarah saw. Beautiful trees, nice sunny day. The day she had all sorts of regrets. Not for what she did to George, but what she did to lose her freedom. That she could have been a receptionist, or she could have worked as a cashier. She could have done so many things if it wasn't for George and his family, Brian, everyone, Detective Rodriguez, Scott and Chelsea, Mr. J and Cacciatore, Judge Cranick himself. If it wasn't for everyone else, she could have worked at the doctor's office. Let's read some of Dr. Seaborn's reviews to see how Sarah's experience may have been. I'm pretty sure his experience was horrible. Did we determine what procedure she may have gotten? Staff, quote, staff was incredibly friendly, helpful, offered my kiddos treats walking in. Oh, that's always a plus. Shout out to all the parents out there. Wouldn't recommend my worst enemy to that place because of the office staff. This is my second time going to Dr. Hunt's office while I was pregnant. It's a gynecologist's office. As you know, her dogs died. One was blind, one was deaf. Her grandpa died from diabetes. Her mom died. Her grandpa died. And this is why she needs medical snacks.
So why is it you all think that y'all don't know me, you don't know me,
Nope.
would do something like that, especially having a 9-year-old son? Again, there was a hole in a suitcase. Really? Like, really?
Exact same thing.
You think that I did that intentionally? You think that I did that intentionally? I love George. Love him. To this day still. Love him. So you guys are like assuming that.
You keep saying we're assuming. Well, we're not. We haven't assumed anything.
But you guys are assuming that.
Were you trying to cooperate?
In every way.
Were you polite with them?
Very.
Like, this is not fair at all.
Yes.
That you all are assuming that it's awful, I know.
Okay.
It's awful. Really?
I know that the Sarah Boone trial is over and that justice has been served. And I'm watching other trials and following other cases, but...
Let me guess, you just can't look away. She's such a straight A student. Let's go and head over to one of our other faves really quick.
When you take someone's life, whether you want it to be or not, that is also a defining moment in your life. And because of that, everyone else's life has to change that was in your orbit or has to deal with you. And it's so annoying thinking back to when she said in the interrogation the day after, this has changed my life and I understand the severity of this. And he's like, he's dead. And she shouts, it's awful. It's awful.
See, and then it's all backfired on me. Like, it's all backfired on me. And I understand the severity of this.
He's dead.
It's awful, I know.
Okay.
It's awful.
As in, no duh, how could you remind me? Of course it's bad. Of course I understand the severity of this. No, you don't. 5 years later, and you still have no clue of the true severity of your actions. Because if you did, you wouldn't be shocked every 5 seconds when all of these things happen to you.
In the court-ordered class that he had the understanding that he was supposed to abide by in regards to acting appropriate towards the other parents in front of the child, which he has not done. And the burden of proof is on the opposing party to show unfitness, and I shouldn't have to prove my worthiness. And I've done everything I possibly can in regards to be a part of my son's life. And as you heard the petitioner himself say, he doesn't care. He does not answer my phone calls. He does not answer my chocolate messages. He does not respond to my letters. He's not made any attempt to find out any contact information. He's not done anything in regards to have me be a part of my son's life, and is now going from having me speak to my son on an almost regular basis down to one 30-minute phone call. I believe that is more detrimental to my son as opposed to helping him when I have had my parental rights intact since day one of my incarceration, and it's helped my son since the day he has been born. And I don't believe that they should be terminated, or a 30-minute phone call should be viable, because no alternative exists. My parental rights should not be taken away. That should just be a last resort, and I don't know why he's doing it.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
And I am used to him saying he doesn't care. And I believe that my rights should be preserved, and I have all of my case laws stating such.
Nonetheless,
shout out to my email crew and you down in the chat. Replay crew, shout out to you guys too. Thank you for the hypes too. They are really helping. And the like crew too. And all of you in the bushes just watching. I really appreciate you. Now, time for a medical snack. NK sent Chica Pop Swiss Miss drizzled kettle corn. If you want to share any of your favorite medical snacks with us, email me or anything you'd like to share. Now, speaking of medical snacks, since the Sarah Boone calls and journals have been released, since they fled to former husband's house, everybody's keyboard has been bloody. Still, there's been a little behind the scenes drama. There's a post that I want you to pause and read from Human Tooth. Shout out to Human Tooth on Reddit. We're all hanging out, enjoying each other's company. Nobody's laying a hand on anybody. and the calls drop. There's a lot of mixed emotions. People think, hey, Sarah's come to YouTube, right? And no one wants to support inmate Boone until the documentary guys come out like, okay, it's us guys. We were trying to be stealthy. We were just tired of being harassed. They released the final nasty email exchange between P and Sarah, and oh, it was good, right? So now in the Q&A, they explained everything, why they did this. They explained how a YouTuber that some of us may know, meow, came at them very aggressively and even told them that they're coming for you. So they began to tell their story, their true story about who they were and how they became part of the story, trying to get the story. Are you tracking? They also were defending themselves against what they thought was an attack, while explaining their history with another YouTuber, shout out to the Lovelies, and just the whole transition from becoming part of the story to telling the story. Now, whether you believe it or not, that's up to you to debate in the comment sections. I'll see you there with my wine, steak, and potatoes. It's kind of like an undercover cop coming back from an assignment, trying to tell everybody what happened on the other side, or convince them that they weren't on the other side. I don't know, but if they did pull the rug from under Sarah Boone, I am overjoyed. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And speaking of pulling the rug from right under Sarah Boone, let's head to court and watch Mr. J do just that. I loved it. He said, ma'am, you know very well what I'm talking about. She did. She was just stuck, but she knew just what he was talking about. First, you try to switch up the whole narrative and the entire story in front of our eyes. Now you're pretending like you don't know what's going on. Okay, let's rewind that a little bit and watch it again.
Anger in what manner? How did he say this?
At which point throughout the day?
Ma'am, you know very well that I'm talking about between these movies. Please answer my question. Between these two movies, how did he express his anger with you?
Told me that I was going to fucking die.
Okay. Now this is happening after he's already told you several times he cannot breathe in the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
And he's been in there for whatever brief amount of time it took you to zip him up, and the laughter stops, and then you go over and begin to film, correct?
Yes.
And you're filming. Your purpose of filming is to kind of teach him a lesson. This is your chance to say something to him when he can't say anything back to you, correct?
No.
Then correct me.
There was no lesson to be learned. It was just I wanted him to try to understand how I felt so maybe he could progress in being a better person the next day.
So you wanted him to understand how you felt in the past, and that's not teaching a lesson?
I just wanted him to understand.
Okay. All right, and so immediately prior to zipping him up and putting him into the movie, you had been upstairs, correct?
I'm sorry?
Immediately before coming down and zipping him up and then filming the first of the two movies, you had been upstairs in the shower, correct?
Yes.
Mr. J has walked her down. All she's got left is her baby voice. Her mouth is twitching like crazy, and her eyes are blinking like she's about to malfunction.
I'm going to publish what has been labeled as image_1061, which according to the timeline was captured at 11:03 p.m. 31 seconds with her device. And labeled as image_1061, which according to the timeline was captured at 11:03 p.m. 31 seconds with her device.
Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
I know how much vodka was in that bottle.
Whew, and he's not finished yet. I know Sarah's ready to put on her pink shorts and run to Muldoon's to ask a man for a cigarette. Not intentionally.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Torres is dead because the defendant believed he deserved to be zipped shut in a suitcase so that she could make him feel how she felt when he cheated on her, when he choked her, and to hold him there as a captive audience, according to her testimony. Now he has to listen to me. Well, right out of the gate, there are credibility issues. Cheating to me means viewing pornography. Well, we saw cheating really means women. And the heated conversation on June 14th about these women in Facebook. And that is what leads to the arrest on June 15th. He's out whoring, Candy Crush, all the bizarre things that you see in her phone. He uses the legal system as a weapon at times. There's no denying that they are engaging in violent behavior.
Sidebar, shout out again to our email crew. Hey Annie, The People You Meet by Brian Boone. The People You Meet in Hell. Did our Brian author a book? Did Sarah scar him so badly that he has to author a book? Have any of you heard of this? Let me know in the comment section. I'm sure it's a great read, the plethora of emotions that she evokes in all of us, right? Law review in every other public venue I can find. I'm also going to email the lawyer you know and tell him what happened. Unlike this ASS hole, he actually cares that you are treated fairly. He has a voice and viewers. I don't know if he will say something, but he will know what happened. I will also write Ask Law and find out if his actions are sanctionable by the bar. Sidebar, Lana's gonna have to take a number. Remember the review about James meeting a client at Whataburger and taking $1,500 as a retainer and never answering his phone again? Oh, there was more where that came from. I can't write a complaint to them without referencing law and statute, so I need to find out. I think this was all an elaborate plan to quote-unquote knock you down a peg by dangling the carrot only to snatch it away. What a stupid thing to do. I think he really needs professional help. What does Billy say about him? I'm curious as to his feelings since he was there and I couldn't be. This is when I feel like I like a million miles away from you, but never in my heart. This guy had all the right credentials, but he was a husk of a man on the inside. The more I think about it, the more this man is going to be eternally and inexorably sorry for ever doing what he did to you. You do realize he isn't going to get to slink, quote unquote, back to Pensacola without repercussions. What he did was nothing short of emotional abuse. Sarah, I am always here for you. It's going to be okay. He tried to tear you down and he failed. He didn't realize who he was dealing with. He picked the wrong woman this time. If he thinks you're going to crumple up into the fetal position and get depressed, wrong. You're going to spit on his memory and dance on his idiotic attempt to tear you down. Sarah Boone does not kowtow to anyone or anything. He can shove his law credentials up his ass and sit and spin. Sorry, I'm really angry. Anyways, do not let him have 1 second of bad feeling from you. Do not give him one tear, one moment of weakness, one instant of consideration. He is an ASS hole, and he is going to pay. Sidebar, shout out to Lana. Lana did a great job at keeping Sarah planted in her delusion on her journey to her life sentence. You mentioned the blunt and uncensored things he said on the phone, knowing it was recorded, right? Since they are recorded and he said them to defame you, can you sue him for slander, defamation of character, emotional stress? This is when I feel so inadequate to help you in terms of my non-existent knowledge of the law. I wanted to ask you this question on here, not the phone. I do not want to call or text this guy, but I almost want to get what he said on record as ammunition. I suspect this was his plan all along. Was he trying to get you back for what he believed you did to those previous lawyers? If I could prove that, there must be a way to get him into trouble for misuse of his legal credentials. I just don't know if it's possible. You have all the law library resources, and you have the ear of the world. You write letters that make hundreds of thousands of people listen to you. Your ad got a 44-minute court TV episode. For God's sakes, you have much more power than I, a complete nobody, do. What this guy did, well, it's part of your story now, and he could be demolished in a documentary about it. About your case. You have tons of power. All I can do is bruise his heel. You can crush his neck. Sarah responds to Lana, "Hey, still sick. I'll call you later if that's all right. I don't know your schedule, but let me know when you're available, please. Right now it's 7:15 a.m. your time. Don't forget the Delphines. They should also know. Lana, I am sick. Love you. Thanks for being mad too. So much to tell you." Lana to Sarah, "Oh, I'm up and definitely available now. I'll be available for most of the day. The only time I'm not is dinner time around 6 to 9 p.m. But after and before, I'm wide open. The best time is 5:30 your time. And you just answered a very important question I had for you. You read my mind. I will let the Delphines know. This chapter on emotional abuse should be in the documentary. I want James Owens's ugliness immortalized. He doesn't get to hit my friend with impunity. I thought some sleep would cool me down. No, I'm so pissed my family is giving me space. He has yet to call me, but I'm this close to calling him and ripping him a new one. Or I may text him for the written record. I'm going back and forth on that. You know, he didn't win. You are still innocent. His crap by you if he wasn't ready to make any kind of decision on representing you. And it uncovers the reason why he wanted you to keep filing motions to the judge for an attorney. He was just trying to hurt you through the judge. He wanted to prejudice Cranick. What a complete fool. Did he think he was doing the quote-unquote Lord's work and feeling badly for Bankowitz or bitch-ass Cashman and wanted to get revenge by jerking around quote-unquote big bad Boone? I'd love to know. If your investigator dug up anything usable on him, I have very violent thoughts I shouldn't talk about on here or on the phone. LOL. I don't want to get you into trouble. You're supposed to be the calm one. The one who never hates a soul. Ha. And if James Owens were on the side of the road injured, I would keep walking. If he were drowning, I'd break out the popcorn. Okay, I better STFU, shut the F up. I'm really mad and it's not good for my health. LOL. I take enough blood pressure medicine as it is, and I want my words for him to be ice cold, not out of control in rage. So what are your thoughts so far? How do you feel about Lana and Sarah doubling up on James Owens, angry at him about not wanting to go to trial? Well, actually, at this point, this is when he just said he didn't want to take the case at all because him and Sarah allegedly had like a yelling match in the prison. But James said in an interview that on his way home to Milton, she called him and apologized and begged him to take the case, and he decided to. And the rest is history. Be sure to pay close attention. Pro se Sarah Boone is trying to pull a fast one over on the court as she wiggles her red folder to let Lana know she loves her. Let's get to court.
If I may make it clear also, I'm simply just asking to be unhandcuffed so I can write and move properly. I'm not trying to maneuver the courtroom and so on and so forth. I simply just am asking to sit here being unhandcuffed so I can write without taking skin off of my wrist and being extremely uncomfortable.
Okay. Ma'am, thank you for that clarification. Because when I read your motion, you asked to be unshackled, to have freedom of movement. And I interpreted that as you wanted to move as everybody else may be able to move in this courtroom, as Mr. Cashstory has moved around, how other persons have moved around. And it wasn't only limited to your hands. I thought it meant to your entire person based on what it is that you were seeking in your motion. So just for the purposes of my own clarification, is your motion only seeking to have your hands not bound so that you can move your hands, but otherwise shackles that may be on your legs would continue to stay there?
Right. I don't currently have shackles, but I don't know what is in regards to trial procedure. And in regards for you not having the clarification of me just wanting to be unhandcuffed, is it my responsibility, or I don't know if you can answer this, but you don't ask questions, which is what got me in this predicament from the get-go of having no counsel, because no questions were ever asked to me. Just for the majority of my motions and letters and so on that I have supplied the court for more information to try to intervene and help, it's just gotten me into hotter water and no counsel and still restrained. So is it something that I need to specifically clarify going forward, or is it something that you have the ability to ask me questions so you have a better understanding?
Sidebar: Sarah's attempting to pull a fast one on the court with her red folder. Sarah is trying to convey to the world that she's being retaliated against because she asked a few questions, right? Although the world can see the games that she's playing. Well, everyone besides her supporters around the world who shared the same logic and delusion as her. We now know that behind the scenes, Sarah and Lana were vigorously reaching out to Judge Kranick on his voicemail, in his chambers, leaving him messages, emails, etc. He was 10 steps ahead of these gals. I think he may have even knew who Lana was before she testified at the sentencing hearing. Let's watch as he puts Sarah in her place while she tries to pull a fast one.
Generally, I don't know that I can answer that question because it may call for me providing you legal advice. If I'm asking questions, it's because I'm trying to clarify things from my understanding. I cannot ask questions on your behalf. I cannot ask questions for you. I cannot assist you in any process, be it this hearing or at trial.
Right. Yes, I understand. I wasn't asking for assistance. I was just trying to understand by you not asking questions in regards to my motion about being unhandcuffed and unshackled simply meant just my handcuffs.
Ma'am, I reviewed your motion to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonable freedom to movement and functioning accordingly, equally, and comfortably while utilizing the courtroom. All normal movement of the defendant's hands is as a whole freely, properly, successfully accomplish any task that is needed. Asking to be unshackled and unhandcuffed, the defendant is simply requesting equal, comfortable, functional movement to achieve advancement in her forfeited right to counsel by the court, which will greatly enhance the productivity and progress for the defendant and the completion of her defense in her criminal case in preparation for trial. Your wherefore clause specifically asks to be unshackled, unhandcuffed, and allowed reasonably free in movement to function equally, accordingly, and comfortably in the courtroom. I took that as you wanted to move around. You did not want to be shackled, which would be your legs as well, and you did not want to have handcuffs. If you're telling me now that all you're asking is your hands to be free, that's respectfully not what your motion says over and over and over again, as I've just read. So if you would like to clarify for me now at this time, you can as to what it is that you're asking of me.
Yes. Handcuffed. I would like to have these handcuffs removed from my wrists.
Okay.
In regards to the unshackled, I know at some point I would have to maneuver, I'm guessing, in the courtroom for trial. So I didn't want to have to wait last moment to have to do another motion to be unshackled if that's what my option is, because I don't know. So I was just trying to be transparent prior so you would know what it was that I was hopefully expecting. But first,
go ahead.
It's just handcuffs means unhandcuffed, and if for trial I have to be shackled, to be unshackled.
Okay, and when you say unshackled, what do you mean by that? Just so that we're all on the same field.
Shackled, as far as my understanding is from being shackled, means that I have this along with my waist, along with my ankles. So unhandcuffed is simply for the hands and the wrists, and then unshackled would be for my ankles and for the feet.
And is that what you were seeking for trial purposes?
I didn't know if I was going to be shackled or not, so that was why I was trying to be transparent and forward by doing so now to make the court aware that that would be a request of mine at the time.
Okay, all right. So you would be seeking to be unshackled, no leg restraints, no arm restraints at trial, right?
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you also be asking of the court to move around the courtroom when trial would take place?
I'm not sure if this is considered legal advice, but I don't know. I know from seeing other trials, the state and the defense, they maneuver the courtroom in front of the jury, so on and so forth, and they hand things back and forth. I would have to have other movement other than me sitting here. So yes, I would have very limited, reasonable movement in the courtroom for trial,
Okay.
yes.
Is there anything else, ma'am, that you would like to tell me with regard to what you were seeking in your motion to be hands-free, for lack of a better word, during any hearings that we may have, and then to be hands-free, unshackled with your legs, and to have movement in the courtroom during the course of the trial?
I've had to lie to you guys 3 times.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about those requests?
I don't know if you've been able to see my difficulty with just simply trying to take notes. Yes, very much I would like to be unhandcuffed, just to sit here and be in attendance of my hearings, conferences, whatever it is. For the trial, when the time comes for any limited movement that I would have, the stun cuff, I would sign the waiver now. Just whatever it is that I can do in order to enable myself to be able to have the same comfortable atmosphere and movement and equal opportunities just as everyone else.
Thank you.
Sidebar. Sounds like Sarah wants to move around like a free person.
We can get it all settled today.
I agree, which was the purpose of...
Oh, Sarah. There is a new call that has just been released, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. If you made it this far, you know I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
She'll just get on the stand and say anything. She knows there are receipts to prove her wrong. She does not care. I mean, she sat in that interrogation for an hour and a half, disputing a video she had just seen with her own eyes. As an example, if your boyfriend was in your apartment dead, you were your townhome, you were the only 2 home, and it happened under suspicious circumstances, when the detectives got there, would you tell them that his family is going to think you did this because they've always said you were going to kill him? Is that smart?
COVID wasn't a huge decision.
Well, no, we did, and you told me that you did not want him to get vaccinated, which scared the crap out of me that you thought that.
Relocation?
What's that?
Relocation. Did you ever talk to me about COVID? Did you ever talk to me about relocation? Have you ever included me in any major decision-making question?
Call you in jail.
Well, yes, and I disagreed with you.